Oh my goodness. Alright, this is little fella checking in. Turn the camera around again. I thought I was recording and I obviously wasn't. So I'm gonna start this one over again. I'm gonna try to make this quick. My goal is to make videos that's shorter than 10-15 minutes at max. If they happen to go over it, it's because I'm really trying to explain stuff, or I might get sidetracked, and if I do, I apologize for it. But I got a lot of stuff to talk about. I got stuff that happens to me every day, so every day is a new adventure for me, especially being a truck driver, so I expect it for you to be the same as well. But this video, I'm gonna talk about D.O.T. inspections. So I'm trying to go back to what I was saying because it wasn't recording the whole time. I don't know how to flip this camera around or how everybody's doing this, but I tried playing with it before. I just can't get it right, so I gotta hold it this way facing me. Today I had a D.O.T. inspection, and I'm gonna tell you some stuff that you need to pay attention for as a D.O.T. inspection. Today, as I was driving, minding my own business, whatever the case was, I come up across a weigh station in Kentucky, and my pre-pass bleeped at me red. Now, for those who don't know what a pre-pass is, it's a little transponder box that's usually on your windshield, and it says pre-pass on it. Unless you got the box that actually has the easy pass and pre-pass combined, then it'll look different. I pay for my own pre-pass, so you'll typically get a black one if it just, one or two trucks. But if you have 3 trucks or more, you'll get a blue one, I believe. So I believe it's the same thing with the I-passes, and it could go further as far as Texas tag or Oklahoma or whatever. But anyways, it'll either be green to let you know you're good to go, or if it bleeps red, means you need to pull in if it's open, and you better pull in if it's open if it bleeps red, because even though you pass the weigh station, it will still continue to flash. So if a cop pull you over a mile or 2 down the road, because they will catch you if they really on it like that, and they'll get in the truck and they ask you why you didn't pull into the weigh station that was open, and you can sit there and say, oh yeah, my pre-pass, I thought it was green. If you look at that pre-pass and you see red flashes on it, you're lying, and that's not going to be a good day for you. He'll follow you, tell you to turn around, go back up the other way, come back around, and then pull back in the weigh station. Then he's going to put a foot in your butt. So be prepared for that if that's what happens. I know some of these weigh stations are really ridiculous. I know in the same state, I pulled up to one and I actually had a light out, and this is some years back. And when I pull into the weigh station, they hit the red stop button or the red light on the traffic control device, and they didn't hit red until after I passed it. So I didn't even see it turn red. It was green when I was driving over the scale slowly. So they hit red. I passed already. So I went to go take off on the highway. Man, that state trooper hopped in his car so fast, and shoot, he caught me before I even merged onto the interstate. Pulled over, told me to turn back around, go back in the weigh station and park. Terrible, man, terrible. I had a loose wire. That's why the light was out. Once I wiggled it and it came back on, I told him, he let me go. But he still gave me a ticket for running a red light or something like that at the weigh station. How you run a red light in a weigh station? I think that's so bogus, but that's my opinion. Had a lawyer at the time, took it to court, got it dismissed. Goofy stuff. So I never hit my DAC report or my PSP. So it never got involved with the company, so we good to go. Anyways, so I pulled into the weigh station. I got a red light. That's why I pulled in. Before I even got on the scale, it told me to park. You have a little sign up there that says park or continue on or exit or whatever the case is. So when I pull around the park, usually the officer do one or two things. Either he will walk out to you, meaning he's going to do a 2 or a level 1 inspection because he wants to see your logbook. Or, it could be a level 3, but just depending on, I guess, who it is. They all do it differently, whatever the case is. And the other thing is you got to get out and bring your paperwork in. So states like New Mexico specifically, they'll pull you in not because they want to give you an inspection or anything, but they'll pull you in because New Mexico has a separate field tax than the rest of the country for some reason. It might have to do something with native country. So when you pull in, you have to tell them where you're traveling to, and they'll charge you some kind of a rate. And I think the most I paid from going east I-40 to west I-40 to Gallup, New Mexico, it was like 50 something bucks. So that's all they want, and you can get a comm check for that or whatever and pay for it at the weigh station. That's it, you're out of there. But other places, they're not like that. So they want to see some paperwork. They want you to bring your license in, your D.O.T. medical card, your bill of lading. They want you to bring in your truck and trailer registration and insurance. Do not walk in there with flip-flops on. I see a lot of truck drivers wearing flip-flops. I ain't gonna say nothing wrong with it. But if you walk into a weigh station with flip-flops, you might have problems. They might say something about it. Some might say it's actually in the FMSCA for drivers not to drive with flip-flops on. If you know exactly which one that is, feel free to comment and post it. I'm not gonna say everything, but yeah. Do that. So one of the things I want to talk about is your license. So I was hauling hazmat materials going through the weigh station. So one of the things I definitely got to make sure is that the trailer is placarded correctly and the placards are visible and clean. I hope that's why he didn't pull me in, which it wasn't. He did tell me when he first pulled me in that I did nothing wrong. He just wanted to do a inspection on me. So I said, cool. He's in a good mood, and I made myself become a good mood so we can have some fun. But you look at the license, make sure it's valid. Now, there's a way that your license cannot be valid, and I hope everybody pays close attention to this because this has changed within the past couple of years. I forgot exactly. I don't know if it's 2015, 14, or 6, or I don't know if it's 2015 or 2014. But now they're making your D.O.T. physical cards, they're linking it to your driver's license. So what that means is when your physical card is about to expire, let's say you're expired next month, if you don't renew it with the DMV in the state you live in before that expires, they will knock your CDL license down to a regular driver's license. I hope you know that. If you do not know that, you better find out. Or you better communicate with them and tell them something. You can easily renew your DOT physical on the road. I have before. All you gotta do is fax it to your DMV so they have it on file before it expires. If you do it that way, you should have no problem. Make sure you get a confirmation that they did receive it and keep that for your records just in case any problems happen. This happened to me when this law passed and I didn't know about it. So I did renew my DOT physical on time, but I did not update it with the DMV this is a few years back. This wasn't today. So what happened was I was still driving. I got super lucky. Do not ever get pulled over or go through a weigh station and your CDL A license isn't active. Because if that's the case, you're done driving for the day. You can go ahead and go off duty. And you probably have to get to your home state and take care of what you need to take care of. And tickets will be written. Like I said, I had my fair share of stuff. I went through a lot. I learned a lot. Now I'm to the point where my CSA is clean and clear and crisp. Nothing on it. And I aim to do better every day. Out here on the road, things happen all the time. I can tell you stories, and I probably will on my YouTube channel. So, if you are subscribed, you'll hear about it eventually. But other than that, yeah, make sure you update that DOT physical card with your DMV. That's very important. That's very, very, very important. Moving on, in your pre-trip, you should be making sure your trailer registration is up to date. I know a lot of people just do drop-it hooks and keep moving. Some people keep the same trailer, which is good. That way it's easier to stay up on and stuff like that. But for the people who do a lot of drop-it hooks, especially these mega carriers, you need to look at it and see the date on the inspection. Now, the companies usually keep up with that pretty well. But there's sometimes where you might pick up an old raggedy trailer where you can't even crank the damn handle properly without using 3 hands. You know what I'm saying? A Senzu beam and whatever the case is, and some WD-40. But some trailers registration is sometimes expired or on the verge of being expired. If you do catch that, tell your company, get it to a nearby TA or wherever they get it done at, get it inspected. Some companies compensate you for stuff like that, catching that and taking care of it for them. Mine does, so definitely try to stay up on that. If it's your truck like mine is, I definitely got to stay up on the insurance and the registration on the truck, which I do anyways. My carrier wouldn't allow me to operate if it wasn't, because they keep copies of everything that I have. So they also help me keep up on it. They'll let me know if something needs to be looked at or checked or fixed, or paid any attention to. And then of course your bill of lading is probably one of the more important documents, because they want to see where you're coming from, where you're going, what you have, time, dates. Is very important. If they especially go to your logbook like mine, they want to see them fill receipts match. They want to see tolls match, if that's possible. They want to see your pickup times and match. They want to see all that match. If none of that matches, guess what? Your level of inspection just went up a notch, and they're going to check for more stuff, because they feel like if you did one thing wrong, you probably did something else wrong. And most of the time, more than 50% of the time, that's correct. So definitely keep an eye on stuff like that. Like he already told me at the very beginning, I done nothing wrong. So as long as he just ran through my paperwork, my license is valid, my DOT is valid, all my paperwork is valid, my hazmat's valid, back on the road, no problem. He even told me a joke today. I forgot what it was, but it had something to do with him losing another driver's license. That it was something. But yeah, I actually got a copy of the inspection. I'm gonna show you what one looks like. I just want to make sure I do got all the stuff bleeped out correctly, because some of this stuff is personal, and depending on who's watching this video, could say something about it. But it's my business, and if I want to share it, it's up to my discretion. So I'm gonna show you a copy of it, look at it briefly, and explain to you what you're looking at. If my camel shadow's in the way, I apologize. So here we got the Kentucky State Police. They got your date, the times you was in and out. This was a quick inspection, thankfully. They got 3 different kind of inspections right here: 1, 2, and 3. 3 being the easiest to do, and that usually covers the driver. A level 2 is the driver in the truck, and level 1 is the driver, the truck, and the trailer. If you get a level 1, they usually pull you around back into the bay and have fun with you. So they usually don't give you a level 1 unless you give them a reason to, whether if you ask to get a level 1, or if you got a brake chamber dangling back there, or a light out, or something you was going over the scale. So if they ever pull you around back, it's because they either seen something while you was going over the scale, you're overweight, or they want to make sure your registration is covered for that state. It could be field tax purposes, or they just want to check your paperwork. Or like me, they pulled me in because I had a hazmat trailer, and my carrier isn't too familiar with hauling hazmat, I guess. So I haul it quite often. But they'll definitely put your company name, like it says company, address and all their stuff, DOT numbers and all that stuff. Let you know what location you was pulled in at, which I was at a county weight facility. Let you know what mile marker and all that stuff is, who's the shipper, and where'd you pick up from, where you're going. Like me, hazardous materials. And then they have your vehicle identification, which they'll have the year. I know I have a Freightliner. Y'all already know that. 14. They got your plate numbers, your IDs, the VIN numbers, the gross vehicle weight, and if you're out of service, OOS is out of service, it'll have if there was a truck or the trailer, the number for it and stuff like that. And I don't know if this is the points. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I had a violation. I forgot. I think they put the points, what it's worth right there. Brake measurements, this is a level 3. They don't check your brakes. That's only for 2. Like I said, for the truck. And it's only for level 1. They check your brakes as level 1. So the level 2, they check your truck is typically the lights. They might do an air leak check. They'll make sure, it's really simple. It's not big or over the wall. So no violations were discovered. If you do have violations, they will list them. It'll be a long chart. If it's a lot of violations, this could easily turn into 2 pages. I kid you not. And then, of course, that hazmat, it had to tell me what I was carrying. They know that it was placarded. This special checks, I've never seen this filled in. I've had a lot of DOT inspections, and I guess this might be for somebody else. I guess if it was like specialized, or if it was livestock or something, maybe might see that, whatever. And of course, he checked my license. He didn't check the cargo tank because there was no reason to. And of course, it got the hazmat information right here. Let you know I was carrying helium. That's what he made a joke about. Something about my truck having helium in it and it should be lighter than it actually was, or something, blah, 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 blah. And at the bottom, of course, it has his officer name and all that stuff, his information, my name. I don't need to show you the bottom because that's nothing but just a signature. So once you sign for it, he'll give you your paperwork back, tell you that, and that's it, and you're out. So if you do get a violation and it's something to be out of service for, like I said, that will be filled in, out of service sticker. I have been out of service before. I actually had a flat tire that didn't look flat, but that's because I was empty. So when he put me out of service, he didn't give me no sticker or nothing like that. He just told me I had to get a tire changed, and then once I get it changed, I can go. But he did give me a ticket for having a flat tire, and I believe that was $70 for one flat tire. And then of course I had to call the tire guy to come out there and change the tire. And then once I did that, the officer had to check it, and then I was able to leave. So this was, 5 or 6 years ago when this happened. Like, beginning of trucking, I tell you, you're gonna make some mistakes, but if you can go with one company and stick strong with them and learn something and take your time and not trying to take all these weird risks, it's because you see another driver doing it doesn't mean you should do it too. I pass drivers, I see them doing all kinds of things. Like, I know a lot of people go crazy about drivers who's on the phone texting or something like that. If I'm driving by another driver and I see him on his phone text messaging, I'm not gonna sit here and blow my horn and honk or get his attention or bitch about it, because for what? Why do people even do that? I've never been sure why. But when you're driving on the highway and I hear an air horn, that's not the best noise to hear, because that's a very alerting. There could be stopped traffic, it could be something in the road, it could be someone coming from behind us. You have no idea. I typically zone out a lot, especially driving long periods of time. Doesn't mean I'm not paying attention to the road. It just that I zone out, I'm looking straight. I kind of anticipate what's going on in front of me. So if somebody kind of throws me off, or for whatever reason, and they're passing me by, maybe they're trying to get another driver's attention or whatever. Like last night, I was backing into a spot at Pilot, and while I was backing in, the driver that was on my driver's side I was backing next to, I was close to his mirror, but he gonna get out and he naked too. Not all the way naked, but his top half was naked. So I saw his flaps and stuff, all his creases and crevices all the way from where I was sitting at, which was, 53 foot away from him. He gonna honk the air horn at me. So at first I thought it was a driver that was behind me. Maybe I was backing too close to him because he was sitting waiting for me to back in. That wasn't the case, because when I got closer, I saw him honk it the second time. So I'm like, dude, I got this. I'm a backing champion. My first job was a yard hostler, and all we did is back up trailers. I used to do 100 back-ins a day. So, especially in the daytime, even if I'm tired, I can back in. Even at night, don't matter. I've never hit somebody's trailer backing in, to the point where they had to call the police and all that and do claims and all that crap. So, yeah. So once I backed in, I shoot him like, man, mind your own business. But anyways, that was a little side story. So yeah, this is what a DOT form looks like. Once you get it and sign it, you need to get it to your company. They'll tell you if you got 14 days, 30 days. They tell you if you should hold on to it. Me, I've already made a copy of this, and I already sent it to my carrier. So me bleeping all this stuff out, that's something I just did. So yes, Kentucky State Police. Every state does this, so I don't see no reason why, you know, if I post it, there's no other information of the officer or who done it. If for some reason an officer do see this from Kentucky, or even the officer that gave me the inspection, you know, this is what it was. I did right. I did everything right. I'm sure he agreed with it, because if he didn't, he would have wrote it on here. So they do pay for this. Companies do pay anywhere between $25 and $100 for every good inspection. That could vary from company to company. I know some pay $300, and if you do pay $300, I like you, because I feel like we should get that, if not more, for doing everything that we should be doing. As we're doing our job, but at the same time, we're not responsible for all the maintenance. So I feel like if you got your DOT number on the side of the truck we're driving, and you're responsible for the maintenance for the stuff we're driving, I feel like we should get more and more money for passing these inspections, even though you're taking care of them, because we can easily screw up. Any way we can screw up. Like I say, in modern times, there's a lot of ways for us to mess up. But thanks for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe. If you got anything to say, you know, I always listen. I always respond back. So I'm actually sitting right now, chilling out in Alabama. And I'm actually chill out for a couple of days, because my 70 is gone, y'all. I'll be working. This is why I don't post videos as often as everybody else do. Like I said, when I get this GoPro and I can record some driving and stuff, you know, learn how to customize these videos. I haven't learned all that yet, but when I do, it'll be something worth watching. So just stick around. I appreciate the people who are subscribed, and I'll get back at you later.